Hey, how y'all doing today? I have a question for you. Have you ever thought about photographing adventure selfies? Well, if not, I'm going to give you several reasons why you should, and I'm going to show you right after the jump. Hi, I'm Charlie Borland, and we all know what a selfie is. It might be the most used technique out there today where people share where they are while smiling at the camera. If you search online for the term adventure selfies, you're going to find all types of images from skydiver jumping out of an airplane to a snowboarder shredding the slopes, and they often are smiling at the camera from an incredible point of view. But what I'm talking about here is a little bit different take on the adventure selfie. Like this one right here of me standing on some rocks during a backpacking trip. I shot this very early in the morning when nobody else was up, and the result was this photo right here. And I'm lucky it's been published a time or two. You'll notice that in this case, I'm not smiling at the camera, or the camera is not even really right in front of my face. But instead, I've positioned myself in a strategic location within my composition to add that human element to the photograph. When you do this, it gives scale by adding a small human against a larger landscape, and it creates an image that is more appealing, especially in the stock photo markets. Now, if you're wondering why you would want to do this, well, we're already out there camping and hiking and photographing the landscape. So for me, it's just about creating additional photos and hopefully making money off of them as stock. Maybe it's the same for you if you're in the business of photography, but if not, why not photograph yourself in spectacular locations when there's nobody else around and you've already grabbed your landscapes? I have photographed many people in various outdoor adventures and especially for stock photography. And then, when there was nobody around and I'm by myself, I would photograph myself in as many awesome locations as I could find. So, how do you go about capturing an adventure selfie? Well, the first thing you're going to need, of course, is a spectacular location or a location you feel very good about, and they're often not hard to find, especially if you're photographing in amazing locations like the national parks. So, what do you need for equipment? Well, of course, you're going to need a camera and a tripod because you're most likely by yourself, and you're going to also need the appropriate lens for the scene. And then, this is the most important, you're going to need a device that's going to trigger the camera to fire once you're in position. And I have here the Velo FreeWave, and this thing works great. And no, I'm not sponsored by Velo. To give you an idea, after I bought the Velo, I wanted to find out what type of distance that signal could go and how far away from the camera I could be when I was using it. So I went out, set up my camera, and then I started walking away, really just to get a rough idea of how far away this radio signal would work. And it took a picture every time I pressed the button. And the way that I knew this is I put a flash on my camera. So I would stop, turn around, press the button, and if the flash fired, I knew I had just taken a picture and that the Velo had triggered the camera. As you can see, there's lots of reasons to have a radio trigger because it allows you to get much further from the camera and be the size you want to be within your grand landscape composition. When I took this photo on that backpacking trip, all I had was the self-timer. So I would press the shutter and then I had 10 seconds to run and get myself in position. And while it worked, I could not get any farther away from my camera. But with a radio trigger, you can go much, much further. Now, as far as other gear, that's pretty much all you need other than the usual things you take on every photo shoot, like extra batteries and other items you might normally carry. Okay, so now I'm going to pack up my camera bag and I'm going to head up to the mountains. I found a location up there when I was hiking last week that I think will make a great landscape, but also a really nice adventure selfie. So I hope you'll stick with me. I'm heading up there right now. Okay, I'm on the trail heading to this location that I've discovered, and I think it's going to look pretty good, but once I get up here, I started finding how the lighting may not really be like I thought it was going to be. I may find that I want to turn around and come back to a more popular viewpoint, and if that's the case, we'll go check this one spot out and see if it's going to work, and if not, we'll head back. So, should be there in a few minutes. Got through the forest. I'm down here in the lava rock for the most part, kind of weaving my way back to this location, and I think it's going to be good. The sky is actually pretty clear rather than hazy like I thought it was going to be, and so I'm pretty happy about that. But the sun's very harsh and it's hot out, and so we'll see if the haze kicks up a little bit closer to sunset. Hey, I'm here. I found this point with this lava rock behind me. You can kind of see it behind me there a little bit, and you can see the mountain in the background. I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit and kind of fill the frame with the mountain and the lake, and then me standing on that far left rock there. I've got the sender right here, the Velo FreeWave sender right here, and then I've got the camera right here. Just kind of sitting on top because I have the pop-up flash on my camera out. I'm going to walk over to the location where I'm going to stand, and I'm going to test it, and if the flash fires, then I know the Velo's work. Then I'm going to go ahead and go back over and turn the flash off, go back over, get myself in position once the sun's dropped behind the mountains here, and that way I'll get kind of light on the mountain only, but we'll be in the shade down here, and I hope to kind of turn myself into a silhouette. I always think that looks pretty good. So anyway, we're going to head over there and do our test shot right now. The sun is setting now, just a little bit on me right now before it's going to be all in the shade here in the foreground. The thing I want to point out here is I took some pictures, this photograph right here, because I wanted to see what it looked like with some rim light on as the sun is just touching the top of the mountains there. And I like it, and I'm going to keep it. I'm also bracketing my exposures 2 stops each way over neutral. Then I've got lighter and darker images that I can exposure blend, because I think this is going to be pretty contrasty. Light in the sky, light on the mountain, but dark trees, dark foreground. I may want to use some of those bracketed exposures for lightening and darkening my final image in the digital darkroom. So now I'm ready to go over there. The other thing I did is I put on my coat because it looks more like I'm out in the wilderness camping, or I just backpacked to this place. And I'm going to be wearing my camera bag in a few of the shots, and then without it in a few shots, just in case it looks a little bit better like I'm an outdoorsman and I hike to this location for sunset. So here we go. Gonna get started. Okay, we got that shot, and now I'm heading back to my car, but on the way there's an even more scenic location that I think I'm going to go ahead and try to photograph there too. I didn't do it there tonight is because it's been overdone. But let's go back, see what we can get. There's still plenty of light out. Here we are at a different location, and you can see the mountain in the background, and there's 2 trees on each side that frame this up really, really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and set up and do the same shot here. It's been shot a million times, including by me. So anyway, we're going to get started right now. Okay, that's a wrap. Got that last shot. As you can see, this is what it looks like here. And I'm going to go back and do a little processing on it, and I'm going to share that with you here right after this. Hey, thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed that. I want to encourage you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button because we're going to be adding a lot more videos on photography techniques, business tips on how to sell your photography, and great locations to photograph. So again, hit that subscribe button. And I also want to encourage you to go check out the Nature Photography School hosted at greatphotographycourses.net. The link will be down below in the description. But we offer online photography courses on the business of photography. We also have a course by famed landscape photographer Lewis Kemper called Light, Color, and Composition. We have another course by myself called Ultimate Guide to Landscape Photography. We have another course called Wireless Flash Techniques for Outdoor and Nature Photographers. We also have a course called Photographer's Toolbox for Lightroom, again by landscape photographer Lewis Kemper. We also have another course by noted landscape and adventure photographer Jay Goodrich called Designing a Compelling Composition. So if you're interested in an online photography course and want to support this channel, we'll even give you 20% discount on your course. Just use coupon code YT20 to take advantage of that discount when you're enrolling at the Nature Photography School. So again, see you in the next video.